Hello everyone, in this lecture we will learn about absolute and relative XPath. This is very important interview question. People ask this question, what is the difference between absolute XPath and relative XPath? Also some people ask what is the difference between single slash and double slash in XPath. So let us understand it. First of all, there are two ways we can write a XPath. One is absolute XPath and other one is relative XPath. Absolute XPath contains the complete path beginning from the root element to the desired element which we want to identify. An absolute XPath starts with slash symbol, single slash. The disadvantage of absolute XPath is that if there are any changes made in the path of the element, then that XPath gets failed. Then what is relative XPath? The relative XPath starts by referring to the element that we want to identify and not from the root node. A relative XPath starts with the double slash symbol. Relative XPath can search elements anywhere on the web page, means no need to write a long XPath and you can start from the middle of HTML DOM structure. Relative XPath is always preferred as it is not a complete path from the root element. So here you can see the example, right? So absolute path is a very long path, whereas relative XPath is short, because absolute XPath contains the complete path beginning from the root element to the desired element which we want to identify, whereas relative XPath is short and starts by referring to the element that we want to identify. No need to start from the root. So that is the main difference between your absolute XPath and relative XPath. Let us see with an example, so it will be very clear to you. Let us go to our web page. So previously we have written XPaths for all these web elements. Okay. So let us say we want to write XPath for this particular field, right. So let me just do a right click and inspect. Okay. So let us use our selector hub tool now. So let us click it here and then just select this and then you click it here. So here what you see, relative XPath input @id equal to name, but if you will see the absolute XPath, right, it is starting from the HTML, then body, main. Okay. So the complete path it is looking for. Okay. So both the things will work fine for you. So let me copy this and let me put it here. Okay. So you see, this is identifying this particular web element, but this is a very long absolute XPath. Okay, because it starts from the root, right? It starts from the HTML, then you see body, okay, then main, then div, okay, then again div, this div, then it is coming to form, div, and then finally this input tag. Okay, so absolute XPath is a long one and it starts from the root till the one which we are looking for. Okay. So let us see if this absolute XPath and relative XPaths are working fine or not. Okay. So let us go to our PyCharm. Let me create a new file. Okay. Maybe I will just copy this and I will just locators, then I will just say absolute and relative. Okay. So here, okay, maybe we do not need all these things. Let me remove these things. Okay. You already know about all these things, we have learnt it in our previous videos, that is why I am not clarifying it. Okay. So directly we will write our XPath. So we will write driver dot find element by dot XPath. Okay. And in XPath what we will use? We will use this particular XPath. Alright. So let me copy this, put it here. Okay. And then what you want to do? You want to send keys, right. So you send anything, let us say Mukesh. Okay. And same thing you do. Okay. First let us execute and see whether it is working fine or not. You have given the time dot sleep as 3, so it will wait for 3 seconds. Let me run it. Okay, you see absolute XPath is working fine. Okay. Similarly, if you want to just see whether your relative XPath is working fine or not. So you can just do driver dot find element. We have already seen this, but still I am just writing by dot XPath. Okay, and here you give the relative XPath. So this is your relative XPath. I am not writing it on my own. I have already explained you how to write it. And here what we need to do, send keys, and let's say Mukesh. Okay, let me comment out this particular thing. Let me execute it again. Okay, for the same field, both absolute XPath and relative XPaths are working fine. Okay, so the only disadvantage of absolute XPath, if there are any changes in this particular path, right? Let's say something div 2 got added or this div got removed, right? In that point of time, this XPath will fail. So that is the major disadvantage of absolute XPath. Okay, whereas you will not see that kind of problem in your relative XPath. That's why in automation we always use relative XPath. One more thing, in our previous videos we have seen example of different type of locators. I think we have not discussed about link test and partial link test locator. Let me show you that. First of all, this link test and partial link test locator works only on links or hyperlinks. That's why it is called as link test locator. So let's go to our web page, and here we see this Selenium tutorial is a link. Okay, so if you will click on this link, it will navigate to a different URL. Okay, we can also confirm it from our HTML. If the HTML have a anchor A tag, that means it is a link. So if you will just right click and you will do a inspect, here in the developer tool, here you see anchor A tag is there. Also you can see this href, right? It means it is a link. Okay, here also you see Selenium tutorial is the link test, right? So let's find this web element using link test and click on it. So let's go to our PyCharm. Let me remove all these things. Okay, so here we'll write a code to find that Selenium tutorial link using the link test. So what we'll do, we'll just write driver dot find element. Okay, then by dot. So here you see we have the link test. Okay, so just write link test, then comma, and here you give that particular text. So what is that text? Selenium tutorial. Okay, and then what you do, dot click, because you need to click it there, right? So let's execute. Here you see it got clicked, okay, and it navigated to a different URL. Okay, so one more thing also you can do, if you just want to see, you put a time.sleep here. Okay, so it will, before clicking it in that particular link, it will wait for 2 seconds. Okay, so now we will see how that partial link test also works. In some situations, we may need to find links by portion of the text in a link test element it contains. In that situation, we can use partial link test to locate that element. So here what we will do, let me just copy this and let me comment out this, and here instead of by dot link test, what we will do, by dot partial link test, and let's say Selenium tutorial, right? So just remove this Selenium. Let's say you know only this tutorial, right? Let's see whether we can click on that particular link or not. Let's run it. See, it got clicked. Okay, so we saw how we can locate an element using link test and partial link test. Okay, so that's all for this lecture. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.